Just yesterday, I got a new mentorship call from a student learning game dev from Udemy like usual, and he was mostly encountering problems with game dev courses not teaching how to actually plan, strategize, and build a roadmap for your game to succeed, or just put it as a portfolio, or create a service like a freelance and offer game development to others like studios or individuals building their own game and needing people who are gonna help them do that like I do. And here is usually what happens. You take a game dev course, maybe more than one, or mostly it's a Udemy courses, so you get a Udemy course, or perhaps you spend 500 on something premium because there are few game dev courses that cost premium money, and there are mentorships that cost obviously a lot like several thousands. Let's hypothetically assume that one of these two. In that case, it was Udemy course. And all of these are oriented towards how to code, how to create model, how to animate, all right? And you watch every lecture, you follow every step, and you get a certificate. This is the best feeling. You finish a course and you press that PDF button to give you the certificate, and you publish it on LinkedIn. Hey guys, I finished this course and this is my certificate. And everybody congratulates you. That is the feeling of actual win. But let's stop there. Then you open a blank project and nothing. You are unable to build anything. And this happens because everything in the course you learn a single time. For example, there is this 60-hour RPG course that teaches you how to create combat system, movement system, AI, inventory, UI, all of that, all right? And we go through, for example, the chapter 1 or the section 1 teaches us combat or the movement. Let's start with that. Then we have combat milestone. Then we have section for the AI, then inventory, then AI combat, whatever. And as you are a new person and handling such a large course, you are just simply unable to learn new things, because how learning actually works. When you study a new language, you have to memorize words. How the memorization happens. You, for example, choose a new word, something, and you repeat it over and over. Try to read it, try to use it, try to write it many times until it gets into your mind and it becomes your second nature. Same thing happens in game development. If you want to learn how to actually move your character, you need to iterate on that. Iterate even on different types of movements or different functions to move actually the character until they get into your mind. Then you go to the combat, and simply because these courses tackle everything just a single time, then you are simply unable to memorize them because there is no practice. That's the biggest single reason why most of the Udemy courses will fail you, and you will just simply waste time. I broke down exact systems and strategies I use to advance and accelerate my growth in game dev and actually acquire high-level knowledge and skills and differentiate from the market so that I am able to offer my services on freelance. You will be able to understand and comprehend, process this information from my ebook, which is a short but precise, concise ebook that actually teaches you not how to do a code, but when you get to the code, what is the right approach to actually study it and then get into your own mind so that you are able to effectively use the knowledge you acquire even from the courses. Yeah, obviously you need a course, and I exactly describe what kind of courses you need, then how to effectively use those courses and be able to get maximum value out of those. I'll leave the link in the description and go check it out. After 60 hours of these damn RPG course, you are back to zero and you are now thinking, why am I unable to make at least something very simple? And I've been in those shoes, man. I know how it feels because that's how I started and I had to learn it the hard way. But then you have the certificate which you posted on LinkedIn and people congratulate you. Come on now, where are the skills? It's like the diploma of university. I personally dropped out of university, but it's like university diploma, you go to the real world, you try to get a job, boom, nothing, because you have no skills. No one needs you. Everybody tells you you have no experience, get experience, and then come to us. You have no real skills to use in real life, be it job, be it task, be it whatever. The paper doesn't really mean anything. Anybody can pay for a paper, but you can't pay for skills. You need to work hard, dedicate yourself, be persistent to actually get those skills. And from here, we understand the format itself is broken. As I said, you build movement once, combat, inventory, AI, UI only once, 15 different systems in the end, each of them exactly one time. Think about how you learn English words, as I just said. You write it, try to use it, read it many times until it gets into your mind. Repeat it, use it, get it wrong and try again. That's exactly the sequence of the actions. That's how the skills are getting built. Any skills, not just the memorization of an English word. It doesn't really have to be associated with the game dev. Any skill gets built by that. With repetition, not really the completion. And mostly, here is uncomfortable truth. The people making those courses want you to keep watching that. The platform wants you to keep consuming because that's good for the platform, that's good for the creator. A course creator makes money when you buy the course. I'm not saying all of the courses are bad, obviously, but there are courses that really degrade your thinking, how you brainstorming, simply waste your time at the end. If you are a beginner, you don't really have anything to grade like the skills, so they just waste your time. That time that could be used to effectively grow and achieve your goals. The incentive is make it long. 60 hours sounds impressive, that gonna sell because I give them a lot of value. And yes, maybe for experienced person who has done these things, he will learn a proper way if he doesn't know the right way to actually have the software architecture and the strategy of how to build a game that will last for a long time, won't get collapsed after some few months in development. For that, perhaps that's good, and depends on the course as well. They make it broad, cover everything from A to Z, generally stuff, and if you watch my few videos previously, you will understand what I mean by that, why I hate being generalist, because that kills you. That is enemy of you. Being generalist is enemy. But some people need to be generalist because that's their expertise. And make it feel complete. Certificate in the end. My book won't give you certificate, but it will give you real knowledge and lessons that I've learned myself and I utilize so that I achieve this kind of success, if we call this success, but decent results that I'm able to sustain myself and live off of game dev a good life, because I was able to understand what are the secrets of business side, because everything in game dev is a business. If you just make your game to sell on Steam, that's a business, the business decisions. If you offer service to others, that's a business decision, and I had to drag those from other industries in which I was interested in before I came into the game dev, so that helped me as well. The 3 methods I used to replace every course I ever took was: first of all, SIS, small impressive systems. You stop building full games because many beginners try to create their dream game because they go into the game dev, they think that it's just straightforward, just build your game. They try to tackle to build their own game, and after 3 or 4 months they realize, oh, it's harder than I thought. Instead of building a full game, you build one system, just one system, combat, maybe just combat, movement, tighten it, make it flashy, make it impressive, and if it's a beginning, then just iterate on it, make different systems. Once you get good and they feel impressive and impactful, your systems, you start posting them, but make sure you post polished and refined work, because your work is your identity. Second, close and try. Find a short crash course on a specific topic, watch it, understand the general idea and close it. Then open a blank project and start on your own. You hit a wall, then you go back to the tutorial or the short crash course you have, then you understand what was the flaw, then you try it again and break that wall so that you can continue working all by yourself. Then R&R, reverse and rebuild. Yeah, you get a template, for example, or you get a marketplace asset, but make sure that asset is of quality and not a crappy, junky, garbage asset. Bad assets will hurt your knowledge. They will teach you the wrong practices that will not serve you in the long term, alright? So make sure the assets you grab are solid. Then you tear them apart, dissect them, break them down, and learn them. Not copy them then, but build in your own way, because once you did SIS, once you did close and try, then you come to R&R, you have already the base knowledge, the core, and you are able to rebuild something on your own after you understand the essence. But be sure that R&R is super hard because digging in those assets takes a lot of time, and you will spend few days just to understand how everything is interconnected, especially if it's a large template. But anytime you build your own specific project, make sure you build from scratch or from your own template that you know inside out. Just make sure you work hard, you persist, and you use these techniques, not just blindly follow a course. Everything else will come on its own.